Hello everyone, thanks for watching the video. This is my wife's first trip with Eddie. I'm really excited. It has been a very long stretch for me personally. My truck was in the shop for a month and a half. We've had some family members and very close loved ones who've been sick and really dealt some bad news. My life's been a bit of a bad country song lately, so it's really nice to finally get out and make some videos and do some camping. So my wife's been dying to get out in the trailer. It's still not finished inside, so I was kind of hoping to put that off until it was a little more comfortable for her. So one of us will be sleeping on the floor tonight. I can imagine that it's not going to be her, so stay tuned for it. In this video, we're going to use the kitchen for the first time, so I'm really excited to use a slide-out kitchen. We got some river exploring with my canoe, and my wife's going to drop me off, and I have this river I've been wanting to explore for a long time. So because my wife's with me here on this trip, she's going to dump me off and see if I make it down the river or not. Never been down there before. It's surrounded by some private land, so there's no trails running along the side of it. Once I'm committed to it, I'm committed to it. So stay tuned for that. We'll see how that works out. And I got an e-bike that this may be in this video or another video coming up that I'm going to try to float in the canoe, and that'll be a whole nother thing. So stay tuned. Hope you liked the video. If you do, when it's all said and done, if you give it a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe. This is my DIY trailer. I've been building it for over a year and a half now. So go check it out, and maybe it'll inspire you to do something similar for yourself. So thanks for watching. Let's get at it. Yep, this will probably be one of the last fires I have in the wood stove. So looking forward to that. It's spring, but it's going to get dropping down to about 0 Celsius tonight. So perfect camping weather. Tomorrow is supposed to be 14 Celsius. We're out before the bugs. Smells good. So if you missed the slide-out kitchen build, this is all new. The door here, this used to be just a scrap piece of aluminum that I had screwed on here for the past year. I've actually gone on trips with it. But this is the first time I've taken it on the road. It's held up pretty well. I installed these brackets, and they're just standard house brackets, coated, so they should hold up to the weather. And when the slide-out kitchen comes out, I have some brackets that I'll just go in here, and it makes for a nice shelf to keep a beer and plates of food and that sort of thing. So I just put some locks on these to keep them secure. There's 2 locks. I always pick the wrong key. There we go. Okay, so the first time that this slide-out kitchen gets put in action for real. So when I designed the kitchen, I wanted to be able to access the stove, and I wanted to be able to access at least 1 drawer. So this section of the slide-out kitchen is accessible inside without pulling it out and having to come around to access stuff. So I believe that it's really handy because this is going to be easy to pull out. I can pull it out and throw it on top of the cabinet in there and cook on it, boil water, make coffee in the morning. And this drawer here will slide out, And I get the fry pans and all the cooking utensils that I need to make a basic meal without you know, having to come outside. So I'm thinking ahead with some bad weather, a lot of winter camping. You know, I'll be cooking outside most of the time, even in the cold weather. But in the morning, you know, let's face it, I might want to make just a coffee and an easy breakfast inside by the wood stove. That's the whole reason why I got this setup, right? So because of the height restrictions of the slide-out kitchen, the barbecue and this stove here are on legs. So these, once I pull out the kitchen, these legs slide up. This is a GSI Pinnacle stove. And to be honest with you, I just, I came across it and I thought it would be perfect for the build. So I actually customized the build to fit this. So this slides up. This goes here, this goes here. The windscreens. And the propane is in the back of the slide out here. So all the little kind of, you know, hoses and all the little things are all hiding back here, so it looks nice and clean in the work surface, right? So this gets hooked up behind here, and then that's ready to go. Now I haven't got around to actually attaching this to the back bumper, but this is where it normally will be. Just going to use a little smaller air compressor. I know it doesn't look like much, but this thing's super handy. You just plug it in with a 12-volt connection, and then we'll pressurize this, and we'll hook it up to the sink, and we will have water pressure, in theory anyways. So this is a standard bike valve. This is a pressure release. Okay, so now it's pressurized. Again, behind the slide-out kitchen, you keep all these little things here. This is the water supply to the faucet in the sink. And these are all quick release snap-on things, so that'll clip on here. We'll keep that off. And then, easily enough, hook it onto this. Turn this on. And this one here is also has a valve here, so we'll turn this on. Now let's see if the sink works. Okay, this is literally the first time I've used it. Look at that. We're gonna have to crank up the water pressure or the air pressure to get a little more. And now you're probably wondering, well, what are we doing underneath? Sandwich Brewing Company, so a hometown local beer we're trying on this trip. Pretty darn good. So I just realized I forgot any sort of table, so Dina and I are probably going to be eating on our laps. So we're going to sit back and enjoy our nice steak dinner, and we'll catch you when we're done. It'll be time for a fire. Okay, normally I would film a nice campfire outside. I did put my fire pit together, and my intention was to actually have a fire outside. But we've had the wood stove going in here. The temperature there has dropped to around 0. And Dina and I are just kind of relaxing in here, and we're like, nah, what's the point of making a campfire? So the wood stove's been going. It's been really nice. You know, we've kind of been organizing and trying to live in a unfinished trailer. As you know, Eddie is just the shell inside. The outside's coming along. but the inside is really kind of very much a work in progress. So I'm sitting by the fire in Eddie, and this will probably be the last fire of the season in the wood stove out here. So well, good morning. It was a beautiful night with the wood stove going. This morning we're making my first breakfast on the slide out kitchen, so it's a really exciting day. Whipped up some pancake batter here. I'm frying some bacon, and we're gonna sit back and have a nice breakfast. And then, because I have my lovely wife with me on this trip, she's gonna drop me off at the access point on a river that I've been always wanting to explore, and I'm going to go down there, see if I can catch myself a steelhead and make it back here for dinner tonight. Dee's been behind the scenes doing all the work for me, so let her eat first, which is not like me. Some pancake. Bacon. There we go. Sweet. When I'm on my trips by myself, I never have time to do anything close to this. Usually I'm eating cold pancakes so I can film the videos, but this is pretty amazing. A little bit of bacon. I have a full-size cast iron fry pan, so it doesn't really fit on the stove, but the barbecue heats it up perfectly. Oh no, that's a crime. So what I love about my system that I got set up here is that it's got quick releases. So this hooks up to the faucet in the sink, but if you don't want to use that, quick disconnect, you can pop on. I'm going to shut it off here, but you can use it like a garden hose to shower off my gear, do dishes out here if you don't want to do them in there. So you just turn this on. There's a valve here and there's a valve there to shut it off. Turn this on. And there you go. So, because when in the nice weather, realistically, probably be using this a lot more behind the trailer, cleaning off dirty bikes and dirty gear, boots and stuff. So it's gonna be great for the dogs, washing the dogs back here, because on the trips, the dog's gonna find a dead squirrel to roll in, and I know I'm gonna have to wash them. So. Okay, we're off. We got about 12 or 15 kilometers to meet up with Dee. We'll see how we do. This should be a very enjoyable paddle. We've always wanted to do this, really looking forward to it. The thing about this river is that we're leaving the public access, so I fished down here before, but there's a lot of fishing pressure, so it's going to be nice to get downriver, and there's no trails that lead along this river, so I think the fishing pressure will be pretty much nil, as it's private property all through the run of the river right till the lake, so it should be a pretty good go. And because I've fished this before, I'm not really going to do any fishing until get a little ways down the river and I feel like I'm away from, you know, what people normally would be here. So we had a good rain, the water's high. I might have to walk at points from the research I've done on it, but we'll see. It would be great if I could just paddle this and get out. I'm in my waders, so I can get out, drag the canoe up on shore, fish some spots that I think would be worthwhile. And that is it. Try to get the camera set up there for some rough water. By no means is any of this whitewater stuff, but I'm a pretty calm water paddler, unless I'm an inflatable boat with a rafting company. It says whitewater rafting on the side, so I don't have a lot of whitewater canoeing experience, but that was kind of fun. Got to keep a watch of deadfall, and biggest thing going downstream, if you get caught on some deadfall or on a rock and you get twisted around, that's when you got problems. Oh, these things are going to be the death of me. I still have some power here, so hopefully it's in this direction. I know it was flying over a field, so I'm heading toward the field line. I don't think it got too far in the bush. Okay, thank God I found it. I don't know. Oh my God, I don't know how damaged it is. Seriously, these things are going to be the death of me. Still, I don't know. Oh, man. So, that wasn't part of the plan. So much for staying off private property. My apologies to anybody property I'm on right now. This is another example. It's another example of how things can go wrong. You know, I'm not complete wilderness here, but I don't have my GPS beacon with me. I left it on my life jacket because I was in a panic to find the drone. So it's just one example of how, you know, kind of momentary lack of kind of concentration, and the fact that I'm really pissed off that I almost lost my drone. Anyone who flies drones knows that, man, constantly something's always going wrong. So I took off my waders, my feet are wet. I don't know where I am toward the river. I think I'm this way. Oh boy. Oh well, what are you gonna do, right? Can't get these adventures sitting on the couch. I think it's funner just to sit on the couch and watch somebody do them. Okay, where the hell is where the hell's the river? Oh, there it is right there. Let's take the wettest possible way. My feet can't get any wetter than they are now. All right, let's try this again. For the most part, this is not a very dangerous river. There's some whitewater that's made it very fun. It's at a comfortable level for me. I think I'm a fairly experienced paddler. Not an experienced whitewater paddler, but I think it's a good level for me. But I'm going to show you an example of how this could be dangerous and deadly for someone who wouldn't think maybe to walk their canoe like I'm about to do. So that is what's dangerous about being on the river. If you get caught in that, it's a bad day. You get pinned under there and possibly drown. So it's not worth it. So this is the first time I'm going to bypass something, and I'm going to tie up my canoe and just kind of drag it along the side there. Be safe. I'm by myself. So that's what I'm going to do. Well guys, that's going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed the video. I didn't film much more. The river took me about 4.5 hours. I met my wife at a marina and we loaded up and I'm back at the trailer here and I'm just wrapping up the video. So if you liked it, I hope you give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe. Make sure to watch some videos coming up. I'll have my e-bike in a canoe. It worked out, so I'm really excited to show you the video on that. It should be a lot of fun. So we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.